welcome back to the rules of engagement. Before we jump into game 3, let me tell you guys about a little opportunity called the MLG Pro Shop. Of course, MLG Pro Shop is always around. If you want to go ahead and buy your MLG products, go to mlgproshop.com. But what's especially cool right now is the gift packs. So the gift packs are deals where you get 2 for 1, and it always varies, but right now there's this really cool one, the Sensei Mouse Pack, where you buy the Sensei Mouse, and it comes with a Sensei Mouse Pad thrown along there, basically price included with the mouse. So you buy the mouse, you get the mouse pad as well. It's a pretty awesome gift pack. The mouse pad's pretty cool. I like the colors. It's big too. So, you know, if you have a small desk, what we do is you just put the keyboard on top of it. If you have a large desk, it means you got a lot of room to move the mice around. It's just a perfect kind of universal setup for whatever you have at home. So now let's get on to game number 3 between Rhett and Feast. And game number 3 is going to be on Ohana. A couple things to talk about in this game are going to be reacting to scouting to Stargate, right? So how basically you react to that Stargate scout. Then we're going to talk about how Swarm Host and Hydratus combine to make a neat little combination. And then, of course, we're going to talk about controlling the rest of your forces with a Swarm Host combination, because controlling Swarm Host is one thing. We talked about the last game, how you want to kite with them, keep them away. But what do you do with the rest of your army, right, if you're not entirely a Swarm Host? If you have other units, how do you control those to make the most of their relationship with the Swarm Host, kind of combine them in the most effective way? So we're going to first start talking about when Liquid Rhett here scouting the Stargate, right? So he's got the overlord here, and he scouts that Stargate. So if you scout a Stargate, right, unless it's accompanied by a ton of gateways. Now here he went through the main, saw no gateways. He sees them just being started right now. He's also already seen these 2 gases being taken. So he knows it's not some crazy build like what Creator just did to NST on game number 1. So if you actually missed those games, Creator and ST, check them out. youtube.com/official MLGSC2. Should be up within the hour. And game 1, basically Creator did a Stargate play, but he masked gateways, and he basically caught an ST surprise. But if your opponent's not doing that, right, if you know they're not doing that because you see they're making probes, etc., the best response to the Stargate play is to get a lot of drones, right? So you're at 62, keep getting more, right? You're at 68, keep getting more. Keep cranking out those drones like a maniac, because if they control the Phoenix as well, which Feast is really good at doing, they're going to get a couple drones anyway. There's not really much you can do about that. But you can just build so many drones that you've got a much better economy than your opponent, so it doesn't matter if you lose a few. So crank out those drones like a maniac. You see here, you got 70, get 8 more, right? Go up to 80. Why not? Keep getting drones. Now, another thing you want to do is get some basic anti-air defense. Don't go crazy, right? Just get sufficient anti-air defense so that you don't lose your queens to phoenixes, right? You put your queens by the spore. They should be safe. Make sure the phoenixes can't sit over your air. Make sure like a Void Ray and Oracle can't kill you. And then that's okay. But other than that, that sufficient air defense and then more drones, right? Get 10 more, right? You have 76, go up to 86. Why not? Just keep cranking them out, because if they went Stargate and they went 4 gas and they're trying to transition to Robo play, you're going to have some time before they can really move out and threaten you, right? So next we're going to talk about is the Swarm Host Hydratus composition, right? So you see Phoenixes, you see airplay. You want to get some Hydratus out to really, be able to get on the map and not have to worry about Phoenixes killing all your guys on the map. So you want to get a few Hydratus, right? And then you want to get Swarm Host because they're really good. That's what you do against Protoss, or that's what Rhett does. I mean, it's definitely a fine option. Swarm Hosts are really good against Protoss, so go ahead and get some of those. And the reason this composition is good is because the Hydratus, not only do they defend against the Phoenixes, right, and they can make sure those can't pick off your Overseers or your Swarm Hosts, but the other thing you do is once you get that speed upgrade, right, they actually move very fast. And if you combine that speed upgrade with an Overseer, they're really, really great at sniping out those observers, right? So you get that speed upgrade. In fact, Rhett's getting it right now. And then when you move out with your army, right, we can see here, as soon as he groups his army up, it's going to be over here, right? As soon as he gets his army grouped together, he's going to have an Overseer with it. So anytime an observer comes in, the Hydras have sniped that observer out, then they can use their speed upgrade to run away. Without the observer, the Swarm Host can kind of just eventually whittle down the Protoss army until there's not much left, right? Then, of course, if you have Swarm Hosts on the map, remember, the Protoss opponent can't be in the middle of the map, because you can just burrow these guys, and Locust, from this position, the Locust can go right about to here, right? So if the Protoss is anywhere basically outside of their walls, then your Locust will kill them when you're back in your base. So the Protoss has to be on the defensive as soon as you make these Locusts. So what you can do is you can move out here, right? Well, I mean, or the Protoss could try to just run away from the Locusts and do counterattacks, which maybe is the right way to approach this. But then you start sieging the Protoss, right? You can start from far away and just launch these guys to the Protoss and start killing things. Now, I wouldn't really move them closer like he did. I don't really know the reason for doing that. But, you know, if you want to just keep all your guys in one place. But the main goal here, with your other units, right? You don't have that many extra units, but each one's fairly important because they support you if they try to move out and bust your Swarm host. So whenever you engage with your extra units that are on Swarm hosts, make sure that the Locusts are in front of them, right? Never engage them with just the Zerglings and the Hydras or just the Corruptors. Always do it after the Locusts are engaged because you'd much rather have the Locusts take the damage and try to kill that Observer too any chance you get. But you much rather have the Locusts take the damage. In fact, right now, as soon as those Locusts die, feel free to just run away, right? So as soon as those Locusts die, you can do is you can just grab all your red guys here. You can back these guys, just have them just run straight back, right? And then if your opponent chases you, check this out. If your opponent chases you, right, the next Swarm host wave is actually literally spawning right now. So as we go here, you can just run away, and then by the time the Protoss can get back up, the Locusts will be already spawned, and they'll go and protect the rest of your army. Now, unfortunately, Ret decided not to retreat his Hydra, so they all died. But it doesn't really matter. The idea is there that the Locusts are free. You can lose the Hydra list. I mean, ideally you keep him, but he's already got so many Corruptors there anyway. He can still kill Observers and any air threat. And then the Locusts will just keep wearing him down, wearing him down, wearing him down. Any extra units you have, these Corruptors, these Zerglings, always wait for the Locusts to engage. Keep the other units behind those Locusts because you'd rather have the Locusts take damage than your backup units. So as long as you do that, the Locusts, of course, are very cost efficient. They do a lot of damage. Attack speed of 0.8 with like 14 damage a hit. So they actually do about the same as a Hydranus. I think almost exactly the same as a Hydranus. So very, very, very effective with damaging. Just keep sending them in, and they'll wear down your opponent over time. So that wraps up game number 3. Take a short break and be right on to game number 4.